What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Harley Culture. We're currently sitting in the HC garage right now. I just wanted to bring a video to you guys on how to put that stage one onto your bike. Now, if you go to a dealership and you buy a Harley, a lot of times in the financing package, they may offer some sort of deal with Screaming Eagle pipes that they have on stock, and they'll put that stage one on your bike before it even leaves the building. That's okay. That's a great option. If you're anything like me, you want to get in there yourself, get your hands dirty, get a little bit more of an in-depth connection with the bike, and ultimately save a buck or two. In this video, we're going to cover all the bases, you guys. We're going to go over from selecting the slip-ons or exhaust system that you may want, ordering those parts, putting those parts on the bike, getting the software that you need, and actually running the tune on your bike from start to finish.
Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is probably do some research on the brand and style of exhaust you want for your motorcycle. I'd recommend hopping on good old YouTube and spending some time listening to comparison videos and ultimately just see what's out there. From there, you can jump on a number of different vendor websites like Revzilla, JP Cycles, and even Dennis Kirk to find the specific exhaust made to fit your bike. I actually ended up purchasing mine straight from the Tap Performance website, which is fairly easy. The one thing I would say is just make sure you're paying attention to the details like finish and tip options if your manufacturer has any. As for the high flow air filter, you can grab a K&N right off the Harley Davidson website. Just make sure that you look to see that it is the right one for your bike.
So you guys did your research, you got your pipes, you got your K&N air filter, and you're ready to put everything on the bike. At this point, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start taking the bags off, and we're just going to get into it. It's not a very long process, so stick with me. If you already know how to do this stuff, you can go ahead and just skip right to the tuning portion of the video.
Definitely like how these bags come off. Every time you're washing it or need to get to the rear tire, it's pretty handy. I'm just gonna throw them right in the bags so you don't lose them. And when you're ready to put it back on, they're right there for you. So typically I just hold it kind of against the fender here or against their mounting locations. Once those are out, grab it by this lip here, grab it by this other lip, and they just come right off. Just like that. You have a bracket here that is essentially gonna help hold that pipe to your header, and then you just have a couple of nuts here that you're gonna want to unscrew that'll release the back support of the pipe. So let's get that off. You're gonna see why we're gonna want this in a second. That should come right out. Boom. So you're going to notice on your slip-ons here, you have a larger diameter hole and a smaller. Your larger is going to come off of your main header. Your smaller is going to be on the kick over to the other side. So right side of bike, left side of bike. Also, you want to be sure when you're putting this bracket back on that is lined up the way it needs to go. Otherwise, your heat shield is going to block from keeping your pipe going back on. Basically, the way it's going to lay out is like so, facing the bike. You're going to want your nut on your clamp to be facing down towards you. If you're looking at it from this angle, say you're the bike, you want that inside towards the bike. And this is kind of a tricky part. You may need to finesse it in there. I've already done this once, so it's gonna be a little bit easier for me. Don't give up. I actually, the first time I did it, I had to take a rubber mallet and kind of hammer it in there. I actually had to take also a flathead and hammer it down through these grooves. Okay, let's make sure that's oriented right. I'm gonna put mine kind of right in the middle, actually, right where these can kind of close in. And we're ready to put the first pipe on, guys. So like I said, it's gonna be kind of a tricky part here. Don't give up. It's gonna seem like they don't want to go in. Just keep at it and you'll get it. So rule of thumb for me, I'm gonna put it pretty dang close to where that heat shield's at. Theoretically, you can't go anywhere past that, but I also don't want them butting them up and rubbing and creating any scratches in the pipe itself. So we're gonna put it there. You can see this is exactly how this bracket slides in. You can slide it in and out. The biggest thing is you just want to make sure before you tighten everything down that you know it's where you need it to be. I'm gonna get these pieces of hardware in for now and just kind of leave them loose, and then once we get that other side on, we'll be able to kind of adjust a little bit and make sure that they're symmetrical to the bags. So we'll leave that in there for now. We're gonna leave this loose as well, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on that other side. The other side's pretty much the same exact process, so for the sake of not boring the crap out of you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this one done and we'll skip to the next step. So we got the other pipe on, everything's loose right now. We don't have the bags on, but we need some way to reference how to make these pipes symmetrical, right? You can kind of look at it, but eyeing it doesn't really work, because once you get the bags on you, it's really noticeable, especially with the newer model stretch bags, with the profile fitting to the pipe. It's really noticeable. So I got these ones pretty close, but one thing I do want to mention, when you're installing these, this can twist, right? It's going to play a huge role in how it looks when it's on the bike, and you can kind of feel where it's going to sit flat. What I like to do, or what I did when I put these on, is I picked a reference point to measure. So right here, if we measure straight to your bag support bar here, we're at 6 3/4 to the tip. On this side, we're about 6 5/8. So I'm gonna see if I can get this one in 1/8 of an inch to get it to line up a little bit better. 6 5/8, 6 5/8. When you got it all lined up, first thing I'm gonna do is tighten down these. Just kind of using the feel method. Those are pretty tight for me. They're not going anywhere. So we'll get this one tightened up. Okay. We got both the pipes on. Pretty good. If any of you guys are wondering, Tap Performance sent me out a new tip for that. Got them, put them on, washed the bike once and chipped off a little bit. So I don't think it's a bad quality pipe. Love the sound, they're great pipes, they look awesome. They send new tips, quick little screw here, I think one on the bottom. These come right off, you put the new ones on, so not a big deal. I'm not mad about it, it is what it is. We're ready to go to the next step. I'm gonna leave the bags off for now, and I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about that later on. We're ready to take the stock cleaner off and put the new K&N one on. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is take this cap off. And then everything just kind of pops off. So we got the new filter. First thing we're gonna do, I think this is a lot easier way of doing it. You're just gonna put it to the back of your plate here. Go ahead and seat it in, and it sits right in just like it should. And then what I like to do is just go ahead and get one started. Don't tighten it, and it kind of helps to hold to put the other one in. Once you're at that point, you can go ahead and just tighten these. You don't want to over tighten these either, just get them kind of nice and snug. Last thing you want to do is strip these out. So nice and snug, a little finger strength, good to go. Last thing we're gonna do here is just get our plate back on. Good way to do this is go ahead and get one of them kind of positioned in there. Grab your Allen. And just kind of feed it on there. Get it started. It's already holding it on there for you. Second one in position. Same thing with these. You don't want to over tighten these at all. Just nice and snug. They're not going anywhere. So that's it. There you have it. We got the stage one setup on. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the tuning portion of the video. All right, guys. Day 2 on the stage 1 upgrade to the Road Glide. I had something come up yesterday, so we're finishing up today. So we got our Pro Street tuner right here with the adapters that we need. You're going to want this adapter kit. You can get it on the Harley Davidson website. I can post a link below in the description. Now, if you were watching earlier in the video, I mentioned you're just going to want to keep your bags off. And I'm going to show you why. We're going to need to take this cover off to access the connection point that goes into the bike's ECU. So I'm just going to set the camera down and take this off quick. Show you guys it pops off pretty easily here. Just like that. You just push in on that tab, you pop that out, and here's where you connect your bike. Here's the current setup. So you're just going to plug it in through a USB to your computer, laptop, whatever you have. Here you're running it straight to your tuner. They actually have some holders on the sides to make sure your connection points aren't being pulled or yanked on in any way. You're just going to run that straight to your bike, right into that plug-in on your Harley Davidson.
Now, getting into the fun stuff, you're going to want to go to the Harley Davidson website and search for the Screaming Eagle Pro Street Tuner. From there, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the free web-based training guide link. This will bring you to the Pro Street training course along with the software download link. The training course is a great way to familiarize yourself with the software and will also teach you the basic essentials that you will need to tune your bike. I would highly recommend checking this out, and with that being said, I'm going to skip through some of the tedious steps and get straight to the tuning portion of the video.
So typically they recommend that you do this 2 or 3 times. What I mean by that is to actually tune your bike, you go and ride it. So we're going to get it on record. We're going to set this up on the bars and we're going to go ride it while your tuner actually records the data. I've done it twice, so I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm actually going to film that for you guys to show how that works. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. We're going to hit the record button. It's going to have all of your bike's information in there. Your motorcycle will be programmed in Smart 2 mode. This mode allows the factory sensors to control fuel delivery through the entire operation range. Record data while riding the motorcycle normally to get the data needed to customize your calibration for your riding style. So essentially, when you go ride your bike, ride it how you would normally ride it. That's how it's going to tune your motorcycle. For me, I'm going to ride it pretty aggressively, so that's how I'm going to go test it. Okay, so we are ready to go. Calibrated the bike to be able to record your data. So it's time to make the recording. Select the method. You can do a smart tune. That's, I think, for people who are a little more in depth or possibly on a dyno. Here we're gonna actually go ride the motorcycle on a closed course. Okay, so here we have a LED light on the recorder. If the light is on, ECU is detected. If it's off, it's not detecting your ECU. If it's blinking slowly, that means you're recording. If it's blinking fast, that means it's full. You have about 15 minutes to run a tune. You can see here, our light is on, ECU is detected, so we're good to go. We're gonna hit OK. All right, you guys, so we are in VCI record mode. I'm all suited up to go ride. So I'm gonna put it just like that, just enough slack to be able to turn the bars if I need to. We're ready to go and tune our bike. So your bike's gonna run a little different right now because it's essentially in record mode. So it's not running as efficient as it should. As you can see, we got a red light on here. Our TC is off. They say you want your bike up to normal operating temperature. My suggestion is you just go ride it for a little bit. Just kind of go cruise and, you know, plan for about a 30-minute ride with 15 minutes of tune time. Took a nice little 20-minute ride, kind of getting out into the country. One of the main reasons for that is not only just to be in a safe environment when you're out here testing this bike, but also I'm trying to limit, you know, stoplights and stop signs, so you're not wasting that 15 minutes of tune time that you have sitting there idling, which is basically doing nothing for your ratios. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got a slow blink. That means we're in tune mode. So I'm just gonna go light on the throttle right now, just to make sure that TPS is tuned all the way through. So whether it's, you know, whether it's a 5% throttle to a 10 to a 20, and I just want to make sure I'm hitting all of those aspects to your riding style to give you the most optimized tune for your bike. Even just a little bit of an idle, you know, idle in 6th gear, we'll bring it to 2500 and kind of idle it there, maybe do some slight accelerations and just give it some time to think, give it some time to figure out what works best for the way you're riding and your motor and essentially your setup.
while I'm tuning the bike, I just want to talk a little bit about the channel, you guys, what my plans are, where I want to take it. So definitely want to kick out a lot of how-to videos. It's not my intention to have this be a copycat channel. I know there's a lot of channels out there that are doing how-to videos and riding videos. Definitely going to have some of that stuff because I think it's important to get that information out there and just to put my own twist on things. I kind of see a bigger picture for this channel. I'd really like it to make it somewhat of an entertainment channel with some informative things here and there, but mainly just doing crazy stuff. We're looking to buy some land. We're trying to do it this year, but we weren't able to pull the trigger and kind of get going on maybe a flat track sporty edition. I thought would be really cool, and just doing crazy stuff to the motorcycle. You know, there's got to be a way for me to financially afford some of the things I want to do. That's why I'm not going to be able to do some of that stuff right off the bat. Maybe do some wild things to this bike. I definitely like to turn it into a bad to the bone performance bagger at some point, and that's ultimately where this bike is going. It's just going to be somewhat of a slow process to get there. The next thing coming up is definitely going to be the bars. I've been looking at Kraus for the bar setup with the relocation bezel that comes with that. So that's definitely next. I don't know if that's going to be this summer or definitely probably something over the winter. So I'll be getting a how-to video on installing those and just my overall opinion on the bars. Right now I just need to grow this channel and get it to where it needs to be for me to be able to financially support those goals. I just wanted to give you a little insight onto what's next for the bike and for the channel. Comment down below, give me your thoughts if you guys have any, and let me know, you know, what you'd like to see. There we go. A little over 15 minutes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got a flashing light. That means that the data is collected. It's full. You're not collecting any more data. There's nothing you need to do. Just leave it hanging there and take it home. So we're gonna go ahead and get this plugged back in here. Okay. Connect the VCI to PC, turn ignition key on, and run stop switch to run. We're on, switch is on, and we're going to download the data. Do not, under any circumstances, interrupt the power here. So we're just going to set that down, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and it's going to do its thing.
What we're going to do now is we're going to do a review data, and we did Smart Tune RG, continue. Just going to go through and just basically run everything through. Yes, we're going to automatically apply it. Your customized calibration has been created. You can continue to customize your calibration by making more recording files. So if you want to do it one or two more times, you know, just in case you think you need to run a little bit more of the map. I think I'm good to go, so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And we're going to go ahead and program the motorcycle. All right, here we go. And it's essentially just programming your bike. Leave everything plugged in, leave your bike to on, leave it in the run position, and just let it work its magic. And we're good to go, you guys. There you have it, stage 1 setup on the Harley Davidson Road Glide. Thanks again for watching, you guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment down below if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to see in the future from Harley Culture.